briefly to look at what we've been looking at is how people in the workplace are actually, working out or burning out, or actually if you're going to work out and stop yourself from burning out. And it's been quite interesting, and I think it's been a bit of a journey more of self as well. And we've been collaborating with the team within the group. There's Graham and myself here today, and unfortunately there's 4 of us that are not here to share this with us, but hopefully we'll represent them and some of their thoughts and mindset as well. So if we can move on then, please. So if nothing else, some of you that might have been in the UK might remember this guy. He's called Mr. Motivator. He appeared on Breakfast TV, and part of his morning thing was to say, hey, this is about setting yourself up for a day. And not only setting yourself up to be in the best physical and mental shape that you could be, but also how you might be able to pass on that mindset to your team as well. So if you take nothing away from this, you might take that visual image away of saying, how can I prepare myself for a working day? So that's what we do. And obviously, we looked at the workout, the definition. To exercise or regime in order to improve the strength and appearance of your body, mind and strength. And that again is just about you being in that best possible shape to actually, and as a leader, to lead your team and understand what some of the struggles that the team might be having that just through the normal course of the day you don't necessarily see because you're so busy yourself. As you can see with this slide, burnout, definition again, exhaustion of physical or emotional strength or motivation, usually as a result of prolonged stress or frustration. You can see, I probably imagine that this is one thing that I think quite a lot of us can relate to, and that's we've got multiple injects coming from many different modes of communication, and we're trying to manage all them while we're trying to manage our team as well and actually getting an operational output. And one of the documents that we found really interesting was this document here, 20 warning signs that you're burnt out at work. And there might be everyday things that you don't necessarily understand that you are actually burnt out. So excuse me, so I'll put the glass of one. The first one, snooze, and that's about setting your alarm. So if you set your alarm at a time, you're not hitting the snooze button, so you're coming in on time and working. I will print this off because I do think this is a good document to give you all. So I won't stand here explaining every one, but I think living like a vampire is quite a good one. That's number 8. And that talks about arriving before dawn and leaving well into the evening is stressful on its own. Being forced to work these hours can make the problem worse. Now I want to actually say that we are forced, but we may sometimes force ourselves, because it's about having the courage to manage our own workflow and saying yes or no to those, and actually what we're expecting our team to do as well. I think shift workers, we've got certain tasks that we've got to do, and obviously it's about how we're managing that and looking as in part of well-being. Fatigue risk management is a key one, and it's how you manage individuals as well once you've actually maybe got them working extra shifts. I know something that we've again in cargo all the time is that if we're expecting somebody to work beyond 12 or 14 hours, well, they've worked 12 or 14 hours, but now they've got to drive home. Is there a way that we can provide a taxi service to make sure that they get home and provide that duty of care? Because I know that previously as a shift worker, in my previous career, we had 2 deaths from people driving home after a night shift.
Wow.
And I guess if you ever need a wake-up call about how you need to manage things when you see things happen that are really close to you and personal, whilst it might come at a business expense, I think people coming to work safely and going home to the family safely is the most important thing that we can have for our staff. So the next slide was just a few questions. So it was, do we manage our workflow? Again, are we managing our workflow, and how does that impact ourselves, and how does it impact the team? Do we take our breaks at work? I know, and I've had a couple of conversations with a few of the team that work across some of the areas, and we see people eating at the desk all the time. Taking breaks at the desk. what does that say to us? I can't have a break because I'm so far behind on the work. But we talk about needing to take those breaks, take yourself out of that workplace to refresh and recharge. So again, something that we've been thinking about, how can we actually make the team take their breaks? So within the agreements, there's a 25-minute break, there's a half an hour break, and even an afternoon break. And if anyone can get out for a smoke or just get themselves away, or a walk or a conversation, then it's really important to start encouraging that. Do we take our work home? And I guess that's another one as well, where you get into a situation where I think we've all probably been guilty of it, receiving an email or sending an email at like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. What is that saying to the team? We're walking into work saying, hey, we've got to manage you and manage your work, and they're seeing emails from the boss at 10 o'clock at night, and they see you then again at 6 o'clock in the morning, and they're going, wait a minute, what sort of a message is that sending us? So again, it's one to take away. I know sometimes it's often to do it, but if you're gonna change your working pattern, it's good to communicate that to the team. I'm going to send you an email, but you don't need to action on it, because there's if your boss sends you an email, your first reaction is that I need to reply to it. So it's about setting those expectations with the team as well, can sometimes manage those fatigue as well.
Just an interesting comment on that. In France, they're actually putting legislation through specifically that workers don't have to answer emails out of hours. So they want people to switch off.
And you have to read them. You have to read them.
Yeah.
They'll overflow.
There you go. I wouldn't like that one because I'll come back to that in a minute. And do we have time to exercise or enjoy fun activities? And I guess that's those things, you like to get out to the game of golf, but on your days off, are you still doing project work, or are you still answering emails, or are you catching up? So, and how does that affect your family life as well? Because that starts adding pressures when, you're at home wanting to sort of, have that downtime, but you find yourself working on projects, so as soon as your partner and the children go to bed, perhaps you're firing up your laptop because you think, I've just got a quick hour or two now, and perhaps you might want to be watching the news or just watching a film. I'm pretty sure that that's sort of, we can all relate to that sort of behaviour. So this actually, I'll be honest with you, this is not a survey that we've done ourselves. We wanted to put a survey out. However, what I have been able to do
super impressed.
What I have been able to do is tap into some data that a colleague of mine did on a previous survey, and I've just plucked out some questions that this brought up, and it's from 281 people from across the business, and I think some of these facts are quite interesting. So the first question was, how interested are you in more healthily at work? And 75% said, yeah, we are interested, so obviously they're not doing it right now. How many portions of fruit do you eat a day? That's that general question, isn't it? And I think you can see that you're hitting it at 2's 28 or 3's 26, so you can see that's not too bad. Do you feel that the people around you eat healthy meals? None of the time 8%, some of the time 90%. Again, it's about whether or not you've got that time or within your life at home that you can make a sandwich or go, I ain't got time for that, I'll grab some at work. And then the van comes and the sound horns and the pie man's outside and the cat's there and it's a shit body or whatever, there's an easy way to manage food. How often within the week do you eat fast food at work? And I guess you can see that's every now and again or once or twice a week, which is 26% of where we used to be. And a lack of time prevents you eating healthily at work. Again, that's whether or not you're either taking a meal in that you can quickly eat at your desk, or there's an opportunity to nip out. And actually, there was one question about outlets and how near the nearest outlet is. Does that actually shape your mindset and behaviour about what food you want to eat, which is another quite interesting question. So would you agree or disagree that costs prevent you eating healthily? I guess that's a debatable one, but clearly there's a mix on that. And then the next question, number 7, is do you enjoy eating healthily? Strongly 53% do, 42%, and obviously now down to 4%. I guess out of all those in those 4 questions, what it generally indicated to us was that the people that were surveyed would like to and enjoy eating more healthily, but time to eat healthily is a challenge. And they've noticed that the colleagues around me, only 2% of the colleagues eat healthily. Which, it's an interesting one. I mean, that's just 281 from multiple areas of business, but it's an interesting going. Obviously, it's great.
Okay, so what this is obviously looking at is well-being, burnout. It's certainly we do a lot of shift work, and I just wanted to now go into why it's worthwhile for the business, because no real, I suppose, reasoning to go and look at these graphs in detail, but effectively the one on the left, what it shows is incidences of injuries based over the 24-hour clock for time. So in the airport, we have staff starting as early as 3:15, and our latest finish is approximately 1 a.m. most days. So we have people working through. The blue line is manual workers. So if you think of the boys in the bag room, the injury rates are consistently, those hours either side of midnight. From a wellness point of view, from promoting healthy eating, from promoting people to be happy and exercise and not taking on too many hours at work or at home. The right-hand top corner there says for every $1 that a company puts into well-being, they get $6 out. So it's actually in our interest as a business to aim for these programs and to as a business, work towards having a healthier, more equipped, more resilient team. So I don't need to jump into this slide too much as well. This is about the UK and the cost of well-being in the UK. The core thing that's actually really interesting on here is that absenteeism, so people going away and staying at home due to mental health problems, is about £8.4 billion a year, but presenteeism is nearly double that at £15 billion. So what that is, this is people who are coming to work fatigued, coming to work jaded, they are not coping with their shift well, they're not resilient, they're not well, and that costs us a lot. Now in New Zealand, absenteeism is about $1.3 billion in 6 million days that we lose across the country. That was taken in 2012. So less than the UK, but it's massive numbers when you think about it. If you scale that back to our New Zealand with 12,000 staff, or in the airport where we're 350 odd staff, if we look after the people, we're having less injuries. We're not carrying ACC or home ACC. We're not having unwell people doing light duty. So we need to work on that side of it. But similarly, when we're coming for us now into the northern winter, which is actually our summer peak, we're pushing people who are not on leave to work longer, to work harder, and we can't do that unless we keep our staff well. So the last slide really is about, well, what are we doing? And I have to admit that a lot of this is from the airports, but we have a high percentage of people on Yammer, which is kind of like Air New Zealand Facebook. We have an Air New Zealand specific page, and we also, an airport specific page, and we also have a Christchurch Airport health and safety page, and a lot of effort's been going in there with regards to wellness months, with building resilience. We did an Are You OK week where we committed as a leadership team right down to the lower level leaders to actually try and identify those people that are usually a bit quieter or a bit more withdrawn or a bit out of sorts, and actually having a corridor conversation and going, look, are you okay? That's all people need. They can say, yes, I'm fine. They can say, no, I'm not. You can ask for help. Or they can say, no, it doesn't matter. But we want to do those things. You'll see as a business, we did Wellbeing 360, where people had the opportunity to score themselves and rate themselves. What was really interesting was we found that the higher up the leadership spectrum you go, the worse people generally were. And what that actually came down to was working out of hours, not having enough sleep, doing too much, being too invested in areas of their lives and what they're doing. We've got the EAP and all the support that Air New Zealand puts out for people, so when you get close to the edge and you're seeing your friends and colleagues, it's about recommending that sort of stuff. And then we have the networks again. So company wide we have all these networks, and that's for the minorities and the people that are doing different things, and it's all really important as far as making sure we're healthy as a team and we're collectively working for a better environment. Which we certainly are using on the bottom right hand side. We're using this we, us now. So we're talking about the team at the airport being together, working together, pulling big hours together, and making sure that we're looking after everyone. So to sum everything up, we recognise we're coming into a busy period. We're all doing a lot of work. We're all trying real hard, but we need to care for and manage on behalf of our teams everyone's well-being, because it is a positive thing for the company. We're all in it for the long haul. We don't want to burn and break people. We want to have everyone turning up every day safe and well, and that's important to us, and it's important to the business. There you go. That's us.
Excellent. Well done.
So, anybody have any questions for the team?
Or comments in terms of things that you took out?
Really good information about, especially people's diet. Yeah, a lot of people, and maybe I want to talk a big game about health picks and all that sort of thing. And as you guys mentioned, when you sit down at the gap at lunchtime, the opposite is true. When you see what people are eating, and the hangar management team has responded to that, and we're actually swapping contractors in the gap. And the menu's going to be far more varied and offer a lot more of the healthy options for people to purchase. But of course that's different to people bringing their own lunch in, which is loaded up with all sorts of crap as well. But yeah, so we've responded to what was in it. Some of it was in the culture center actually.
Yeah, I know that certainly in some of the management offices in Cargo, there's a crate of fruit arrives Monday morning.
Every morning?
So every Monday morning.
Oh.
So yeah, at least there's a start the week off with a just to jog back down there. Yeah, it all goes. So.
Does it? So do you think that they would be above that 2 pieces a day?
I don't know whether they would bring it in and eat it if it wasn't there. I think they just create food there. That was really nice. It's good looking.
If you're starving, it's probably awesome.
Most people today it's coffee on the go and grab something when you can or nothing. And, you see it all the time, don't you?
Yeah.
People walking down the street.
That's pretty
Fruit muffin,
yeah, chopped fruit.
Other questions or comments from your colleagues?
Oh, one question.
I do too.
For both of you, what have you done differently?
Oh, that was my question. And you go?
Michelle, go ahead.
No, you did. Good
So
stuff.
what have you done differently yourselves over the last, say, 2 to 3 months, or last month at least, since you've been putting this project together, reviewing teams?
I'll go first. So specifically from my point of view, and the leadership team in the airport, we have tried to kill 2 birds with 1 stone with regards to the survey, and also kind of off the back of this, which is our visibility in the work areas, and also how much work we're doing or perceived to be doing squirreled away in an office. So consciously blocking time to go and assist at the peaks is a big thing for us. The other day I got told I was scratched by someone when I was pushing a wheelchair, because one of the guys I work with was in full New Zealand uniform, and she's like, "Why are you in uniform? Are you an apprentice or training or something?" Thanks.
You just said yeah. Yes,
yeah.
Thank you.
And then they tried to give me $5 which was nice. But for me, we have, like, I'll come in at 6, we'll have the peak that's sort of regional, 7 till 9:30, and it's about going out and working with the staff, and when we have 5 wheelchairs on an aircraft, we're not scratching for people, we go and we push a chair, and for me that's the mental break that's in the middle of the day. It hasn't stopped me working at night, but that's because I am choosing to be with the staff during the day, which, I don't know if anyone else has polled up watching spouses, but she'll watch that and I'll just do emails, and that's fine. I'm happy with where we're at with that. But the whole team's doing it, and especially coming into December and January, we are all making a conscious effort to go out to more aircraft more often, have a team. Yeah.
Yeah, I think from within, just like, the cargo operations, certainly in Auckland, I mentioned to you before that we've been quite lean in manpower, and that was something that was recognised in a serious business case, for a real injection of headcounts coming into the business, but that's a great aspiration for us to have. Excuse me, as a management team, but it doesn't necessarily change the here and now when you've got volumes going out all the time. And one of our frustrations has been that we can lose somebody with 2 weeks notice, but it takes us 8 weeks to recruit. So what's that meant to the team? It's meant that the numbers have reduced on the skill levels of we've not really seen a more business resilience because when we're training people, we're losing people. So it's been really a big challenge. So from our perspective in terms of management is going down onto the floor like Graham said and trying to ensure that teams are taking the breaks and getting 10 or 15 minutes away from the desk and actually taking 30 minutes wherever possible to go up to the break room and watch a bit of TV and just detox away from that business rhythm. Generally, as well as being what we talked about, fatigue risk management, because obviously sickness and any other absenteeism leave, we don't really have the headcount to cover it other than to bring people in on overtime. So again, we've started to produce more regular printouts of sick leave so that we can see who's doing a lot of overtime. Not that we understand that as a business we've got to have that much overtime within currently within the within the finances, but it's about just keeping an eye on those people, just to making sure that actually there's none of those behaviours that we're noticing that actually we can contribute to actually that burnout. And again, we talked about that travelling to and from, because a lot of people do travel quite long distances, and within traffic, leaving work is not like flash to